Hey everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing another speed build for October, meaning it's gonna be kind of Halloween-y themed. This one I'd say is probably, out of all my Halloween themed videos coming out, probably like the least Halloween-y, and that's we are redoing the Magic HQ in the Magic realm. If any of you have the new pack, Realm of Magic, you would know Magic HQ is kind of a disaster looking. It's really square and ugly, and it's just kind of like your standard EA build, but like worse. So I decided I wanted to make it better. So right now you're probably like, Jamie, you're not building in the Magic realm. Yeah, right now I'm building on a 30 by 40 lot in New Crest. My thought behind it was I'd rather build here and play around rather than play in the Magic realm and kind of mess things up. I don't know. Even though I know this build technically is gonna ruin any coding that the developers did put into Realm of Magic, you know, I just felt safer playing around in a different world. I also thought the lot was a 40 by 40. I guess it's a 40 by 50, so I could have made this a lot bigger. You see here, I'm just kind of playing around. What I really wanted was, if you've ever seen like a lot of Gothic cathedrals, they'll have two-story high stained glass windows, and that's what I really wanted here. I definitely could have probably done it with not stained glass, or maybe could have done it with the windows from Get Together, but I really want to use Realm of Magic. Right now I have these weird pillar things attached to it that come from Jungle Adventure. I end up taking them off. I was like, oh. So my idea though, as I was trying to do, as always, I wanted to do something Victorian or Gothic, and I kind of ran into the issue that means inherently it's gonna look kind of Harry Potter-esque, even though that's not really my intention. But I've kind of accepted that you know, it's gonna look kind of Harry Potter-ish. But you know, I'm fine with it, I guess. You can't win them all. What I was really trying to go for was, I wasn't trying to make it look Gothic in the sense that it came from like the Gothic period, but I was definitely trying to do something maybe Victorian neo-Gothic kind of look, 19th century. And I feel like that kind of alleviated the fears of of it looking too much like Hogwarts, as well as I was looking at some German 19th century Gothic revival architecture rather than English, which is the castle in the Harry Potter movies. Its architectural style is based off of English Gothic. Here though, I was also playing around with a lot of but I guess embellishments on the build, which is something I usually leave till the end. But here I was just kind of playing around because I was trying to get like, okay, can I get it look like a two-story stained glass window? And I think it kind of looks like it. On this main window in the front, it ends up kind of, because I end up doing some other stuff, it kind of doesn't look as good as it could. On a different tower later, I think it looks a little bit better. However, I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I think I'm going to do another church build soon where I actually do a two-story wall with this kind of windowing going on, because I think it would look pretty good. I ended up putting a big with a clock, because big kind of clock tower. I really haven't used that clock at all since maybe Strangerville's the last time I used it. So I thought it was due time to do it again. But I really did like building this. This was super fun. Like I said, it isn't super Halloween-y because, like, you know, Realm of Magic isn't like a super Halloween-y pack. You know, witches, or as they're called in The Sims 4, spellcasters, as well as, you know, I just, you know, kind of like, I feel like it fits this vibe if you want to do something Halloween-y, I feel like a good cop out would be to do something in either vampires or Realm of Magic, because they're cults. Like I said, I had super fun building this. This video is like super long, and I apologize for that. That was not my intention. I also did cut out a lot because I knew I didn't want to do a super long voiceover, because who really wants to listen to me talk for like more than 20 minutes? Let's be real. I did not do any filming of the floor plan, so even though I think at one point I thought, oh, I could do a 2-part video, 1 part just the building of it and 1 the floor plan. Yeah, no. As soon as I kind of finished filming up building it, I was like, yeah, no, we are not doing a floor plan video. As well as I end up still cutting out a lot from this video here. It'll kind of jump around a lot, but I think after I kind of get some of this down, it just ends up looking better, or ends up really coming together in a much different way. It's a lot more successful, I would say. And I think also, so after I finish the front, I think the back and the sides really just take a lot of inspiration from the front and back. On the front here, you see I have this huge ass tower I just built. I hate it. I end up getting rid of it. It's too big. It's just so, I end up just going for the standard 1x1 kind of window tower like this. The 2 tile size is it just doesn't work. And the main reason it doesn't is because when it's at that angle, the 2 tiles are just a lot longer. And that's when you're using the grid system that The Sims 4 comes up. I think that's just definitely kind of a I don't want to say it's a drawback, but it's like one of the things I guess you pay for, so. But yeah, like I said, I was really, really excited to do this build. When Realm of Magic first came out, I didn't think I was gonna rebuild it, because I didn't rebuild the secret laboratory at Strangerville. And part of the reason for that is, even though I think that lab probably could use a makeover, I'm pretty sure as long as you include the pit for the mother, you could do it, but I ain't gonna mess with that. That one looks a little too intense. This one I did play test though, and even though the coding isn't there anymore, because the type of build on the HQ lot is Magic HQ, or Magic Realm, I think is what it comes up as on when you do the bb.enable free build cheat. When you enable that, the lot is titled Magic Realm, I believe that, or it's Magic HQ. But the reason that's important is that pretty much means that all of the sages will still show up there, which is pretty good. However, the way that it was built by the Sims team, like their build, there's like specific parts of the build that you would find certain sages at, which is part of the reason, like the developer said that you could definitely rebuild it and it would still be usable. The sages won't stick to their specific spots in the Magic HQ anymore. And that's something I noticed when I was playtesting this, is yeah, that's very true. You definitely see them just kind of wandering about, doing their own thing. I mostly found them hanging out in the same area. They weren't really using the entirety of the build, which, that's fine. It is pretty big, so I can see how that can be kind of annoying for them. Or why Sims might not, on their own, instinctually just run around the whole building. But, so that's one thing to keep in mind if you do download this. If you would like all the sages to kind of have their own area, because you can't do coding in The Sims, that's just not going to happen. They're going to kind of do their own things. but it's still very usable. The sages all still show up and hang around, so you can still, walk around the building and find them. I found in my case they were all kind of hanging out in the same spot, so that was kind of cool. So you wouldn't have to walk around the whole place looking for the each different sage. That might be a little bit more helpful. It might be a little bit more annoying on gameplay, because I know some people were complaining that they think Realm of Magic is already a little too easy. So that might just make it a little too easy for people, I guess. But I'm really happy because pretty much when I was going through and playtesting it, all of the Sims were coming and going. They were using the cauldrons, they were reading books, they were also using this little area that I created for dueling. And even though you can duel pretty much anywhere, even in the old the EA build, you could pretty much do it anywhere. It was really cool to see them using the dueling area I built, which we'll look at probably in a little bit when we get there. As well as there's like a little kitchenette area I built, which I saw one sim using. But like I said, beyond the first 2 floors, because this does have some parts of the build have 4 floors, others have 3, 2, 3, I was really finding most of the sages and also other sims coming in and interacting with the area. I was mostly finding them on the first 2 floors, which I thought I wasn't annoyed by, but I was a little disappointed, because I was I was really hoping that they would walk around and do more. But I also understand why on earth would any sim on their own walk up all those flights of stairs. I don't blame them. One thing I found also while I was building this, I was doing a lot of going back and forth, a lot of, let's try this, let's try that, and then deleting, going back. It was really fun. I really like experimenting with Sims. I really like trying out new things. I definitely like when I'm building, even if I think I have an idea, going back and changing things. Originally I had this idea, as you see here, to have those stick out more, but then here I put them a little bit more flush with the wall. Later in it, I do push them back a little so that they actually are 1 tile back from everything. And I think, I kind of like them either 1 back or flush against it, because I was really thinking a lot of Gothic architecture. It's the facade, especially in French Gothic, the facade of the building is very important, and often takes up a lot of width. It's very prominent. The facade is very important to Gothic, so I'm glad I was not obstructing it like originally I was doing there. But yeah, so this little area I just built now, the first floor of it is what's going to end up being the dueling grounds I came up with. And they're not really grounds, it's just a big hallway, and it's just really fun. And I like because I left it empty for that reason, hoping that Sims would, if they're gonna duel and they're by it, they would just walk into it because there's more room. And I definitely have images at the end where I saw 2 Sims actually dueling in it, so I thought that was really fun. Also, if you download this, you can have your own Sims duel in there and get some good photos, some good screenshots. So I was pretty pumped with how that came out. As well as the way I'm building it, I'm purposely leaving room for a courtyard in the middle. And that's because I really liked in the build EA did, I really liked that there was kind of that second, it's either on the second or the third floors, this roof garden kind of thing. I liked the idea of it, but did not want to commit, I guess. So I ended up just being you know what, a courtyard, it's fine by me. And I end up really liking how the courtyard comes out. I have a big cauldron in the middle. I also put a plasma tree. I was just just trying to just make it very creative and make it look like an area where you can go forage or whatnot. As well as when I moved this to the Magic HQ lot, and I realized that the lot was a 40 by 50, not a 40 by 40. I realized I had so much more room, and I ended up building a greenhouse, so that your Sims can go and like actually plant things. I really don't know how usable it is because I've never actually tested growing things on a community lot before, which might seem silly. I don't know. I've also never really been into gardening in The Sims. I'll have so many Sims that have like gardening aspirations, and I just kind of like ignore it, which I kind of feel bad about. I don't know. Just for some reason, it's just something that's never really intrigued me. There's also this door here up at the front that came with Realm of Magic. I thought I would never use it, and my reason for is, so I understand the style the developers were going for. It's definitely kind of that late Victorian, what we might call Second Empire style, which also had a lot of inspiration from Baroque style. But it's so, and Art Nouveau is kind of part of that, inspired by both Gothic and Baroque. But yeah, it's just so not great. I feel bad saying that. I just don't feel like you can use it on a house, but I feel like it worked very well here. Speaking of which, I feel like this build also, the floor plan I end up doing, I feel like fits very well for a school, or in my mind it's like a school that you can go to, but I know it's really just kind of like this Magic HQ, because they didn't want to call it a school, because you know, the name too much like Harry Potter, and it probably doesn't help that everyone's building it into like a school. But the floor plan I used for it's definitely more fitting for a school, I would say, than a home. But I definitely feel like if you really wanted to use this as a house instead of the Magic HQ, you could move this anywhere into any lot as long as it fits, and you would be fine, I guess. You'd probably need to redo the floor plan, because like I said, a lot of it isn't cut off. There's a lot of arches, a lot of doorways leading into other rooms. Like, it's very maze-like, but also there's not a lot of endings to it. There's very few rooms that don't lead anywhere. And like I said, I really just wanted the flow of it to be, so you could kind of just like walk around. This tower I just added here on the side, I love this tower. The top floor is not accessible, and I end up deleting the floor in it anyways and just having a chandelier hang down, which, I don't know, like, it kind of didn't end up working the way I wanted, but you know, it was better than just having like a floor that you couldn't get to. I've done a few builds like that, and I always hate when the top floor of the tower is not accessible, and there's really not much you can do because of the way the Sims floor stairs work right as of right now. And that's, you know, just how it is. And that's like not me like be like, oh, the Sims 4 is ruining my life. I'm like, that's just, it's a game. You got to work within the constraints of it. A second ago, when you also saw I used all those Strangerville windows, I ended up switching them to white instead of that brown. And originally I did the brown because I thought it matched kind of the brown in some of the stained glass. But then I was like, you know what? I'm using white windows from Vampires, as well as some of the stonework around the windows from Realm of Magic are white and gray. So I'm like, you know what, like, white would look better. And that's how I found out to successfully use the windows from Strangerville with a Realm of Magic build. You got to use the white swatch, or any swatch other than the brown, because the brown just doesn't work. It doesn't match the browns and the blacks that they used. So I actually really love that window that I used there from Get Together. Don't really know if it, like, if it fits really, but I really like it. I really like that it has like that stained glass feel. Here I'm playing around because I had already moved the like hallway on the left there over one. You can kind of see it's in one. I was like, oh, should this one be in like one? I'm like, yeah, no. It wasn't working. With that said, though, I do really like that this build. I was trying to implement and make it feel almost balanced, and you'll see that there's like parts where like, oh, it's almost balanced, but it's still like it's still very off balanced. And the reason I did that was because that's a really big part of Gothic, as well as I feel like it really fit the theme of the magic realm, where they're talking about like, where's the whole thing like, oh, all the houses keep, or not the houses, I guess all the practices, all the different veins of magic, alchemy, mischief, practical. Yeah, I think that's all. There might be one I'm forgetting. All of them together create a balance that keeps the realm together. So that's what I really liked. I was like, okay, so I'm going to make this almost balanced. And I just feel like that Gothic almost being off balance, different towers kind of thing, just like really worked. I think it was actually around this point where I was kind of realizing, I was like, oh shit, this is looking a little too much like a Hogwarts fanfic wannabe thing. I don't know. So I apologize for that. I was really trying so hard to be like, no, this is not Hogwarts. But it's one of those things where you just kind of can't escape it, sadly. Harry Potter is just so popular, and Realm of Magic Realm of Magic is really interesting to me because it takes so much inspiration from Harry Potter, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, as well as like a lot of ideas from like paganism and like modern witches. So anyways, this is where I'm gonna cut out, and we're gonna swap over to the images, because watching me build this I don't think is fun anymore.